and also a cutoff ridge from what it looks like could form a cutoff high as well. But regardless, folks, this is quite a weird setup. You got Humberto, just to the east of potential Imelda. It's going to form over the Bahamas in a matter of hours. Yet you get this tropical system located in the Pacific, but that's not really our concern at this moment. What does this mean? There's going to be plenty of wet weather in the Rocky Mountains and the Great Plains, and plenty of wet weather that's going to happen throughout the southeast and parts of the mid-Atlantic, and as well as Texas, though, and the Pacific Northwest and the Northern Rockies. If I haven't said anything about the Rockies. For Monday night, hold on a minute, I think I can hear background music. Alright, I'm back. So this is for Monday night. Basically, for Monday night, we do have trough. It's going to be offshore, off the west coast. Another trough over New Mexico and Texas. A ridge located over the northern Mississippi Valley. A cutoff low, a large one, would be over the southeast. Yet trapping Imelda and Umberto. And I did say yesterday, for those of you who follow my socials, well, it looks like as though that, I don't know if those two are going to kiss. Will they? I doubt it. But let's take a look. Okay, so that means there are plenty of wet weather. Some storms will happen throughout the west coast and throughout the Great Basin and the Northern Rockies and the Great Plains. Hold on a minute. The southeast as well. A lot of a lot of wet weather that's going to happen throughout the southeast next week. There's going to be a trough. It's going to be off the Pacific Northwest. There's going to be a small ridge over over northern Mexico, and another ridge over the Great Lakes region. And it turns out that there is going to be a large trough just over the Carolinas. But for Imelda and Humberto, well, that's it. They broke up. They said, nope, the relationship is over. I'm catching up my next, I'm catching my trough, so you might as well just stay put and do whatever you want. So Imelda goes to the Carolinas and causes trouble because it's heartbroken by Humberto, and then it'll stay there, cause a lot of, damage and destruction along its path while shedding tears, blowing off steam, until it either becomes its own trough or ends up with another trough. Could possibly end up with a Rex block down the line. Let's take a look in the in the tropics. So what do we have? Start off here. Nothing much is going on. Maybe a little bit, just located in this, just east of the Windward Islands. Never mind them. Maybe a little bit just east of Umberto. Upper level highs there. Quite a complicated process, folks. Monday night. Would they kiss? Yeah, one is chasing, and then the other one's saying, no, hell no, you're not my type. So Imelda gets left behind for a few days. Oh, yeah, wants to catch up. But by Wednesday night, Umberto catches the trough by Imelda. Well, given that there is a trough that's going to be over the southeast, who knows? There could be a Rex block that's going to be in the making. But hold on. This is it for Wednesday night, but by Thursday night, Umberto's gone. Imelda tries to catch up on Thursday night. Then you have this area of upper level low. It's going to linger around. Could get cut off. But Imelda gets left out. What does it do? By next Friday night, well, then going into next Saturday night, it's all on its own. Poor Imelda, right, guys? But then you have upper level lows just sitting around. And an upper level high. Which means this whole weather situation could get messy. And then Imelda, well, might gather strength, but could change it into a post-tropical system. And then it ends up with a trough right behind it. Or just ahead of it. Yeah, right behind. And there could be something that's coming out of Africa. Let's see with the European model. Okay, potential Imelda's here. Umberto's right here. Then in 24 hours, Imelda forms. Umberto maintain its hurricane status. Now the question is, will they kiss? Actually, well, by Monday night, they get closer. This one gets closer to the Carolinas. Yeah, but it kind of looks like as though that the two of them may call their relationship quits. So Umberto says, I'm out of here. But Imelda, well, gets left behind, downgrades to post-tropical cyclone. Its heartbreak is causing so much wet weather, some possible flooding throughout parts of the East Coast, like Southeast and the Mid-Atlantic, throughout next week. By Saturday night, becomes a cutoff low and then joins up with another trough, but it'll all be silent. And then using the Canadian model, let's take a look. So in 24 hours from now, it's a similar story, but Tuesday night, that's the make or break moment for Imelda and Umberto. But Umberto says, "No, I'm out of here." But then Imelda gets stubborn, tries to catch up with Umberto, and gets caught up with the same trough. But Umberto says, "I'm catching the one ahead of it." Adios. All right, and now let's check the National Hurricane Center. So let's start with Umberto. For Umberto, it is a Category 5 hurricane as of 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Saturday, September 27, 2025. It's got a maximum sustained winds of 160 miles an hour. It's moving west-northwest at 10 miles an hour. Located northeast of Puerto Rico. It'll maintain its status as a major hurricane, but then once it gets near Bermuda, it'll downgrade. By Wednesday morning, it'll become a Category 2 hurricane, then move out, and then become a post-tropical cyclone. As for Imelda, well, even though it's not yet Imelda, Regardless, it'll become a tropical storm, go through the Bahamas, and then upgrade to becoming a hurricane by Tuesday morning. But it'll only be there just for about a few hours. But then by Wednesday night, it'll downgrade to a tropical storm, just to cause a lot of trouble. Its heart is being broken, and then it'll cause it's gonna shed tears, blow off steam in the Carolinas, and well, folks in the Carolinas, I feel sorry for them. I don't know who do I feel sorry for, Imelda or the Carolinas. I know there's a lot of romantic metaphor, with heartbreaks and stuff. But I'm just trying to put, some dark humor into it, when it comes to romantic relationships. And boy, it's hard. It's hard. It's a sad one for those of you who expected a happier ending. I'm sorry, but if you wanted that to happen, well, you could try to predict the storm, try to control the hurricane, and tell that pivot point to just weaken, and then have the two of them to live happily ever after. Well, I'm sorry, but the world of meteorology and the world of science says romance is not the place, but science has no place for romance. Or at least romantic idealism. But sadly, that is true for people like me and even many others I know, but that's for a topic for another time and for something else. Even though I've already said it, like, when I play games during the stream, but regardless, it'll become Imelda by tomorrow morning. Whether if it's going to happen right now or not, it still is going to have its heart broken. And then, in the process, cause trouble for the Carolinas, flooding, and some strong waves, and even some winds. And now, let's move on to Radar Omega. I really wish I can lighten the mood, but I don't think there is anything I can do at this point to create a happier ending in terms of romantic stories. I'm not an expert on romantic novels. I am sorry. But if you guys want me to do that, you can at least tell me, like, off stream. Just DM me. Okay. Like I said, if you guys are trying to peer pressure me, so yeah, like I said, if you guys wanted like happier endings, you could at least come up with a model, with a computer model that would show Umberto and Imelda combining into one storm, and then they'll live happily ever after. But unfortunately, most of the time in the world of weather, that doesn't work. If you guys want me to just, read romance novels, just do it off stream and tell me, and just DM me and tell me which book you recommend me reading. Because I really have no knowledge at all. I have no experience, so I apologize. So I'm what you guys can call me, a total noob. Alright, so enough of this. So, where are the warm lows? They are in Florida and South Florida. I don't know if the chat is working.